every time that, please wait. Seriously, it's already happening this early on. Anyways, I think it's working now. So something really funny about me is that for 10 years on my YouTube channel, I always put on perfume before I film and before I live stream. And I know no one can smell me, but it's something about doing my whole like get ready with me routine, which puts me on point and just really good and ready to film. So I always do that. Thank you guys for being here at Mass anymore, or adoration or confession, anytime I go into a Catholic church. And I had a whole 2.5-minute caveat at the Rangers in Houston, and you learn so many like street skills, you're more heroic. So I think it was like the best thing that happened to my dad, him being in the military. And also my grandpa, my mom's dad was in the military. Unfortunately, he died when I was a baby. So I've never let my grandfather. And actually on my dad's side, I also never met my grandfather because he was adopted. And we recently found his family like 2 years ago. We found like all of my dad's side of the family. Literally, my dad could write a book of his life story. It would be so good. I feel like if my dad ends up becoming Catholic, he could write his life story and you guys would read the book. Like, I really think so. Like, if my dad was open to like being on my channel and stuff whenever my parents end up becoming Catholic. But yeah, so my grandfather was in the military as well. And my sister, actually, he was in Japan and during the occupation of Japan. So my sister actually did a history project growing up of the letters between my grandfather and grandmother when he was there for the occupation of Japan. So yeah, really cool that we have those letters in my family. It's really special. And one great pro of having family in the military is that you get to be part of a bank called USAA, and it's also an insurance company. And it is like the best bank in the country. And I get to be on it because my grandfather was in the military. So then my mom gets to be on USAA and my dad, and then they pass it on to me and my sister. And then when I get married, my husband gets to be on USAA and our children. A special connection I have with people. So yeah, I'm gonna read some of the comments. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. We're not going to talk about the election. I intentionally didn't do a live stream for the past week just because I want everyone to calm down about the election. I know it's still no one's completely calmed down yet, but I feel calmed down about the election. I know there are a lot of people who were like dancing the election. There's other people who are like chanting to not count votes for the election. So both sides are going crazy. I've been really chill about the whole thing. So yeah, if the moderators, you can block any comments talking about politics because my channel is not a political commentary channel. So we don't need that in the live stream. Okay. Hello, everyone. Lila's side says, I'm Catholic too. I think a lot of people here are Catholics. What a beautiful day to be Catholic. Every day is a Catholic, right? Hi, come Holy Spirit. Ricardo says, Lizzie, you are great. Manuel says, I was watching Lila Rose's conversion to Catholicism right before I came here. Have you seen her interview? Yes, it just showed up in my recommended like a couple of minutes ago. So I'm definitely going to watch that. I'm obsessed with Lila Rose. I feel like she's changed my life so much because I understand what abortion is and why it's bad and who it affects and how women are involved in the science of everything. So yeah, I like love Lila Rose. My goal is to meet her one day and do a video collab with people who I'm like obsessed with. So pray the rosary. Saint Teresa of Lisieux is lay. I worked on my book all day. Then I worked on my Bible study because I have Bible studies on Tuesday and Wednesday that I lead. So one of the Bible study groups is behind the other group. So even though I did Tuesday yesterday, I had some catching up to do with reading. So I have a book called Saints and Church Fathers and their commentary on a book of the Bible. So I go through each chapter and I read in the book and annotate, and then I on my computer. And actually doing it through Zoom makes it easier for me because previously I would have made handouts for everyone. And so I'd have my notes, then make handouts, print out, give to them. But since it's over Zoom, I just have my Google Doc and I don't even have to memorize my Google Doc because I could just change to my Google Doc while I'm on Zoom, read the Google Doc, and it looks like I'm talking to them. And then I copy and paste the church father quotes into the Zoom. So that's how the Bible studies work. So it's really, really a lot of fun. I obviously miss being in person and seeing the students, but it's great that we're able to connect over Zoom. And the vaccine is coming. I'm so excited. I mean, we might not get it until like a year from now. Everyone might not get it, but it's still really exciting just knowing that it's out there and that it's happening. I just feel like it's really hard to keep being in a constant mindset of like always stepping away from people and like always having my mask on and not traveling to see my friends. Like it just gets so exhausting, you know? So the fact that like I see in the vaccine, it just makes it, I feel like so much easier to keep everything that I've been doing. Thank you for the donation, Gabrielle. Gabriel. Hey, Lizzie, big fan here. Quick question. If I would like to request a topic for a video through Patreon, is 1 month enough or do I have to be a Patreon until the vid happens? So I can make a video within a month. So if you join my Patreon and that's one of the rewards, then each month video reward is how it works. So you can keep doing video requests on the Patreon. Fee says, Lizzie, what are your thoughts on the McCarrick report? I'm having a hard time with my Catholic faith due to all the awful things going on right now. I did not read the McCarrick report. I'm going to watch Bishop Barron's video of the McCarrick report. I honestly, stuff like that makes me really sad and upset. And I don't even like getting involved in all the church politics and reading up on stuff like that. So I'm on my channel if you guys are wanting me to do that. I don't talk about stuff like that on my channel. So definitely watch Bishop Barron's video on it. I think it will be very, very informative and help everyone to process it. Okay. Philippe, do you believe that microchips in the hand are the mark of the beast? Absolutely not. Lizzie, I totally agree that I don't want to concentrate on the negative stuff, just focus on Jesus. Yes, I have to give breaks, even reading the news. Like now that I'm medicated for my bipolar, it's a lot better, but I have a really strong empathy. And when I start reading about like all the horrible things happening in the world, like I literally cry and I start crying. And so I just can't handle reading bad news all the time. And what the media reports on is really, really sad news. They're not reporting on beautiful things happening and acts of kindness and all the love in the world. It's everything awful in the world that's happening. That's what the media reports on. And so I would prefer to just like be in my own world, like go be friends with people from my parish and non-Catholic friends, read theology, make videos about theology, do writing, be in the world, horrible news. Obviously, you have to be educated on it, but yeah. Okay. Gabriel says, thanks for answering the question. Sorry, it was super awkward. No, it's not awkward at all. Christian says, hey, Lizzie, just tuning in, watching from the Philippines. Oh, I really want to visit the Philippines at some point for sure. Tom, do you wash or change your mask every day like healthcare professionals? So I have so many masks at this point. I don't wash my masks as often as I should. So that's a really great reminder the next time I do laundry to do all my masks and laundry. Okay. The media is always creating boogeyman where there are none. Look at I donate money, can't figure it out. So I'm going to put my PayPal in the, oh, you're talking about in the chat. How do you donate money? So if you look right under the chat, there's an emoji button and there's a be able to YouTube full time. Okay. Tom says, neither does anyone else. That's why mask mandates for the public don't make sense because we're supposed to be washing our mask every day. I mean, maybe we should just buy a ton of masks and transfer through them. Anyways, I just did some online shopping and I got a sweatshirt with a mask that matches it. And it's such a warm mask. So when it gets cold, it's going to be really warm being outside. Like I'm traveling for Thanksgiving and I'm going to be somewhere on the East Coast. You guys don't know. It's definitely going to be colder. So I'm going to bring that mask, and it might actually be nice to have a mask over your face if it's cold outside. So I feel like the winter during COVID might actually be the best thing. It will be less annoying having the mask on because it'll be keeping you warm. Okay. Do you pray the Liturgy of the Hours? I used to pray it in with the college students that I work with. We did that last semester. We've done it a couple times this semester. Instead, I was traveling in Boston and I went to a church for daily mass. I was visiting my best friend and I was attending daily mass while I was there because there's a church within walking distance. And they had this thing called Magnificat. And I don't know if that makes sense. I don't do Liturgy of the Hours, but I do a different type of Liturgy of the Hours. Okay. Hi, Lizzie. I was just wondering, what's your opinion on yoga? So when most people say yoga, most regular people, we're talking about exercise classes that have nothing to do with religious yoga, literally nothing to do with it. So when I say I've been to yoga class before, people are like, oh, wow, do you do religious yoga? Are you leaving Catholicism? Are you taking part in pagan worship? And it's obviously not. When people say yoga, on anyone who's saying yoga in the United States is talking about the exercise class. It has nothing to do with the religion at all. Zero, doesn't have to do with it. In fact, when I was in college, we had an exercise class and it was Christian yoga. And we literally did the yoga poses to Bible verses. So it has nothing to do with the religious connotations. And it's so stupid. I am appalled the people who are huge public figures who come out against yoga. And I'm seriously, if I'm following a YouTube workout of yoga on my yoga mat, I'm sinning. It's a mortal sin. It's a joke. It's such a joke. So I think people are crazy who come out and are yoga is the devil just because. Do you not understand what yoga class is? Probably they've never been to an exercise class. Maybe they don't exercise. I don't know. But let's see. Yoga is just literally stretching. I know, right? Hi, Lizzie. Has anyone ever told you that you look like Brindy Irwin? I've never heard of this person. Let's see who that is. I literally have so many tabs open on my computer. I have 2 windows of 30 tabs open on my computer. So I just pulled the YouTube tab away. Okay, Brindy Irwin is the truth about Bindi Irwin's new husband. This actually doesn't seem to be Brindy Irwin. Do we look alike? I see what you're talking about because she has smaller eyes like me. But now it's showing up Khloe Kardashian. So this person isn't very famous. It's hard to figure out who they are. Okay, let's see more comments. Olivia says, my bipolar disorder type 1 friend blocked me after getting really mad at me. Any advice? So she or he will cool down and then feel guilty about what they did. Just be willing to forgive and get over it and realize it's the mental illness and not actually how they feel. Although when I have gotten mad at people when I've been manic and said things, I've actually I don't know if I should be telling you this, but I've met them. I just never would have said it because it's mean, but I do actually believe it. So I remember one day, Alia, how are you doing? Jesse says, I got a job now. Yay, what job is it? Let's see. Allison, did you hear about Scotland banning the Bible as a hate crime? Interesting. No, that seems like a clickbait news story, honestly. But maybe it actually happened. Who knows? Michael says, if I'm not a virgin, can I still be Catholic? Absolutely. So what I love about Catholicism is instead of talking about being a virgin, we talk about chastity and celibacy. So it's not about whether or not you're a virgin, it's about whether or not currently you're living out chastity and celibacy in your life. So obviously, people get really offended when I say the word celibacy in regards to non-married people, and they're like, that's only for the religious life, but I use it for both. So if you're being celibate, I'm not married. So live out celibacy. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past, just focus on the present and keep running the race of Christianity. And it's so great in Catholicism, if you've done anything in life that you regret, or you sinned or whatever, you talk about it in your first confession and you confess everything and then it's done and you're forgiven and it's over and you never have to think about it again. So, but I did, and it was just so therapeutic and cathartic, feeling completely forgiven and in my life. And so many converts to Catholicism who I talk to feel exactly the same. Caitlin says, I just turned 23 yesterday. Oh, you're getting so old. That's crazy. Scotland. Sorry, I keep saying Scotland. Sounds like it's not going to pass. You know, they drafted a bill. So like some weird congressperson or senator, whatever they call them there, started a bill and it's not going to pass. And it's probably just to virtue signal to their followers and fans and people that they're like woke enough, you know, it probably won't go through. But I would be pretty offended if I was living there and I was a Christian and they're trying to ban my holy book. Like, imagine if they did that with Christianity. You're allowed to do stuff like that and people don't think it's horrible. So your streaming is freezing a lot, Lizzie. I'm sorry about the Wi-Fi situation, guys. Sophia, what are some Catholic-related career options? So basically, in Catholicism, we want people to be working in every single career field and giving 100%, working hard, being ethical people in careers, being kind and compassionate towards their coworkers, just being a light for Christ in literally every career path. And so I think it doesn't really matter what career you choose. It matters the intention you give into your career. And I think workplaces are an amazing place for evangelism because obviously the people who you surround yourself with in your life are probably going to end up being a lot of Catholics, just because I know for me, like my main social interactions are at my parish, and slowly everyone in my life is becoming Catholic. So I'm like surrounded by Catholics all the time in my family. Not in my family yet, but my friends who are like family. So workplace is an amazing place where you interact with people who are not Catholic and you just be an incredible person, be humble, be kind, be patient, hardworking, and that may attract people to the faith. Alexander, where are the emojis at? Yeah, Alexander puts like huge comments of like loads of emojis. Okay. Okay, we have the Mary emoji going on in the chat. Alioth says, Lizzie, on a scale of from 0 to 10, what are your parents on the likelihood of becoming Catholic? 10. They're going to become Catholic unless they die tomorrow. They're going to become Catholic in their lifetime because I pray for it all the time. And like, there's no way when there's heaven, including Mary praying, that they're not going to come around eventually. Like, I just don't see it happening unless they die really, really young, which they're both like in excellent health. So my mom does have to get surgery in December, which, But in December, I think December 10th, let's see, 11th, December 11th, my mom has to have hip surgery because she had a hip. So anyways, pray for my mom's surgery. But yeah, they're going to become Catholic. Like pretty much everyone in my life is going to end up becoming Catholic. And I'm very optimistic about things, but like I saw so many of my friends become Catholic, and then I ended up becoming Catholic. More of my friends are becoming Catholic, and it's just like a cycle, and everyone feeds off of each other and influences you. And the thing is, it's true. It's objectively true. There's so much evidence. If you're an intellectual person and you're able to process data and you like reading, it's so easy to convert and to become Catholic. So the fact that I think people in my life will be Catholic is like not like, oh, I'm gonna influence them, like I'm so great. It's like, no, they're humble people and they're into. That's why I know they will end up converting. Super chat, thank you so much. I love the video you did on contraception and how you quoted the church fathers, scripture, and history. Please do more church father videos. I love them. Thank you so much. So that was a recent video where I read a lot of quotes talking about birth control and the church fathers' opinions on that. And there's a book I really, really love called The Fathers Know Best by Jimmy Akin. The Fathers Know Best by Jimmy Akin. And I use it for so many videos, and it literally has topical, it's like confession, Eucharist, abortion, contraception, baptism, hell, purgatory, like it has different sections, and then it just has like straight up quotes by church fathers on every single topic. So I use that for so many of my videos to prove that everything is original. So The Fathers Know Best by Jimmy Akin. I know I talk about that book in a lot of videos, but I just wanted to shout it out again. Alanis says, I'm a young Catholic. That's so good. You've had it for your whole life. Or are you saying that you've been Catholic like 3 years or something? Because like I'm a toddler because I've been Catholic for 2.5 years. So my boyfriend's 3-year Catholic anniversary is coming up. It should be on my phone. November is a huge month for me and my boyfriend. It's his birthday. It's his Catholic anniversary, becoming Catholic anniversary. It's his patron saint, Augustine's birthday is on the 13th. His birthday's on the 20th. And then Thanksgiving, which we always celebrate together. His confirmation was on under. So yeah, November is like also the first time we were ever in person in our relationship. November is just like my favorite month for our relationship. So I'm really excited that it's November. Okay. Okay, we're not talking about the election, you guys. I'm not going to share who I voted for. The only people who know who I voted for are like really close to me in my life. But I will say I voted for Republicans, Democrats, and someone from the Green Party. So how can I meet younger Catholics? They all seem old and I can't find community. So I recommend, obviously right now a lot of churches are closed down, but actually a lot are open as well. So I recommend talking to your colleagues. Do you know of any young adult groups in the area? And you could go to a young adult group that is near in your city, but maybe not at your parish. My parish has a lot of old people at it and mid-age people. And then there's me, who's in my mid-20s. So I actually have loved getting close to people who are elderly and who have lived their Catholicism their entire lives. I've learned so much from them and we're great friends. So I used to think like, oh, I want to be friends with people my age. But now that I'm an adult and I'm like post-college, I've realized that I can interact with adults of all ages and form deep connections every week because I don't know, I love them. They're my parish people. And yeah, so I don't think it's about finding young people, just be friends with whoever's there. And they probably like seeing young people there too and knowing that the faith isn't going to die out. And then there's other young people part of the parish. Have you ever thought about becoming a nun? That was my April Fool's Day joke that I was becoming a nun. People got really offended by it. this year's April Fool's Day joke, people got really offended by it. One of my best friends said that next, oh, that's too far. Like, you can't do that. That's like so horrible for your image if you say that you're going to be a different religion for April. Never going to be my April Fool's Day prank. So I have to think of one for next year, which is actually like next coming up. December, January, February, March, April, May. 6 months until April Fool's Day again. So I have to think of it. Give me ideas, you guys. Send me a DM if you have an idea of a good April. I just love playing pranks on people. I think it's my manic side where I love doing pranks like all the time. I love messing with people. I think it's hilarious. So I really enjoy it. And having an audience, there's a lot of people to mess with. So sorry if people keep getting offended. Okay. Just so you know, this is cutting out every few seconds. Oh no. I wonder if Jesus ever pulled a prank. I mean, if Jesus was like the ultimate perfect human, then he probably had a great sense of humor and made a lot of jokes, because humor is so much fun and a huge part of being human. So I feel like Jesus did do pranks sometimes. I feel like he had to have. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try to change my internet, so let me know if that is better. Sophia says, thoughts on 50s music? I love it. So I grew up without music. Like, neither of my parents are that into music, so they never like introduced me to older music or music they listened to as kids. So I don't know anything about culture or media because we didn't really watch TV growing up. We didn't really do movies. We didn't do secular music. We just read books growing up. So no internet until I was like 14. So I had a very, very interesting childhood. Okay. Kurt says, Lizzie, big news. 6 months ago, I asked you to pray for my cousin who has 3 months to live due to liver failure and also going through divorce. Now his liver is healthy and doesn't need surgery. Yay! Mary came through on my rosary prayers. That's so exciting. Okay. Michelle says, hello, Lizzie, just saying hi and that YouTube is working on my end. I might watch this a little. My mom was a computer programmer, so we always had a computer. This is a lot better. Awesome. Glory to God in the highest. Okay, I'm glad that the internet is working for everyone. My phone internet is like way better. My sister got me my new phone a year ago and it has like a hotspot thing on it. I think the new iPhones do, and it's like way better. Okay, it's much better. Yay. Glad that it's working. Okay, let's see which comments to respond to. Is your relationship doing well? I hope you are happy. So we've been doing pre-engagement therapy. So we've been working through any problems that we did have in our relationship. And I feel like it's making things so great. And I feel really confident. We're probably going to get engaged in January just because this isn't really news. I've told all my friends, so I'll tell you guys, it's not really news. But basically, my grandma's engagement ring we're going to get, and then a ring from his side of the family, and then we're going to take the diamonds and customize them into a ring that I like. So that's going to happen. We're going to get the rings over Christmas because Trevor is coming to Christmas with my family, and then we're also doing Christmas with his family. So yeah, we're going to do the ring thing, and then we want to do pictures at a very specific Catholic church in Tennessee. So yeah, I'm gonna probably invite one of my best friends to do the photo shoot, and we'll do like a whole like engagement event out of it. And we're not gonna do an engagement video. I know I promised you guys that, but we talked about it, and we're not very like romantic, like classically romantic. And we just think it wouldn't be genuine if we like filmed the whole thing and Trevor did like a long speech and like pretended to surprise me, because it's not really a surprise. Like, we're talking about it together and we're like making a ring together, and then I'm gonna get it and wear it. It's not gonna be like, oh, like I'm buying Liz a ring behind her back and she doesn't know about it, and then I'm gonna propose and do this situation. Like, it's not like it's gonna be a surprise. So because of that, we're not doing an engagement video. We'll only do photo shoots. But I promise there'll be a wedding video for sure. I'm not going to not do a wedding video. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Okay. Michelle says, glad I'm here for this, Lizzie. I want to hear a great epic speech from Trevor. Okay, I'll tell him that you guys want to do a speech. Maybe we can, yeah, he just doesn't want to do it. So that's it. That's on him. Okay, let's see. Blessings in your engagement. I'm really happy for you both. Marriage is a beautiful gift to becoming one. Aww. Did he propose? So we're not doing a proposal. I just explained that. Make a video of the engagement and share it with us. I recommend you use Beautiful Things by Grace Vanderwall as its music. Interesting. I will screenshot this and see. Lizzie, could you please pray for me? I'm struggling with my vocations. Yes, I will screenshot this. Vocation. Do you hope that he proposes in a creative way? No, I don't want him to propose in a creative way. It's just like, it's not us to propose in a creative way. Like, we're both very like, we're both leaders in the relationship. We both make the decisions together. We're just like, I'm more romantic than he is. Like, I like create giant cards and like have surprised him before with visiting and like bake things and stuff. And that's just like not who he is. So I don't want to like force something and make something fake that isn't us. I'd rather just do like a sweet photo shoot and make it like a fun trip, you know? He should propose in front of Mary and Jesus. Well, you guys shall see. I'm so happy for you. That sounds beautiful. Thank you so much. Hi, Lizzie. Taylor Marshall's back. So Taylor Marshall, have you actually checked out Taylor Marshall's channel? He's a little bit extreme as Catholics go. He's into some conspiracy theories, but I think he's a really good example to Catholics of praying the rosary, living out our faith boldly, staying close to God and scripture, going to mass multiple times a week. I feel like he's a great example of like how to be a Catholic. But yeah, he's a little extreme. So if you've checked him out. Do you lighten your hair naturally? So I have a really old video on my YouTube channel about how I use hydrogen peroxide to bleach my hair. So I did that from when I was 16 up until I was 21, 22. So then when I was 22, I bleached my hair like at a salon. And then my balayage grew out all the way. And then I re-bleached my hair a couple months ago at a salon. So I do it at a salon just because, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's not, I don't know how to explain balayage to you guys. But basically, like the way balayage works, it's not like a line, but it's like different pieces so that it can grow out all the way and look cute as it grows out all the way. I don't know how to explain balayage if you don't know what it is. So just Google balayage, and that's what I get done when I do my hair. Okay. Can you post a video about Adventism and why it's so different from Catholicism? That's actually a really good video idea. No, it's moving so fast. I wasn't able to screenshot that. Okay, cool. Rachel says, Lizzie, I'm questioning my Catholic faith. No, my counselor recommended me a Protestant self-help book for therapy and don't know what, I don't know what to do. Have you read The Search for Significance? No, I have not. So it's totally fine to read Protestant writing sometimes, but maybe try to find a therapist who's Catholic, meet with a priest. I think that therapy has its place. Like I just said, I go to therapy. I've gone to therapy a lot throughout my life, but it's also really important doing spiritual direction with someone from your church or with a priest. So I recommend meeting with your priest, setting up an appointment, and talking about all your concerns with Catholicism and why you're doubting it, and asking your priest for book recommendations that can also help you. It's really important to not do like only secular therapy. You also have to involve your Catholicism in it. Michelle says, I want to dye the tips of my hair deep green. I like the doctor in Orwell that does that. I have dark hair like her. Aw. When we first get to Mass and kneel immediately after genuflecting, what is the purpose of this? I personally don't do it because I don't know what I should be doing. I just genuflect, then sit in the pew. So JC is talking about how most people, I would say like maybe like 60% of people, they walk in, genuflect in front of the Eucharist, then take down the kneeler and kneel on the kneeler and pray. So they're praying and just like impromptu talking to God before Mass, or like praying some prayers of the rosary. So it's just praying, and they choose to do it kneeling down. So for me, sometimes I pray, sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to sit and think. So, and look at the church art. It totally depends. But yeah. Video idea on misconceptions Orthodox have on Catholicism. Okay, I actually have a video script for this written. It's not like completed. Also, I have a video coming up, what I love and hate about Byzantine Catholicism, and we're going to talk about Eastern Catholic liturgies, because I actually don't have a full video on that, which is crazy. I just have videos talking about Orthodox Church and what I love about that. Be Wise says, can you be Catholic even if you don't agree with everything? It's what's holding me back from becoming Catholic. So I did not agree with so much when I was becoming Catholic. When I started converting, I did not agree with anything in Catholicism. I disagreed with all of it. And then I started doing a lot of reading and researching and praying and talking to Catholics, going to Mass. And I learned about Catholicism and the history of all the dogmas. And I especially believed in apostolic succession of bishops and priests and the real presence of the Eucharist. And from there, I learned and listened to podcasts and read books, and I came to accept all the church's teachings. So it's really important to join RCIA. And in RCIA, you don't have to be Catholic going into RCIA. It's like to decide whether or not you want to be Catholic. Loads of people drop out of RCIA. So call your local parish, ask when RCIA is beginning, which it's kind of like the middle of the year right now. So I think if you started now, you probably wouldn't even be able to get confirmed at Easter, even if you wanted to. So it's a great time to pop into RCIA, attend the classes. It might be over Zoom right now. Listen and ask every single question you have. Bring up your critiques. Bring up everything you hate about Catholicism. Talk about what you disagree with. Ask questions. RCIA is the place to debate, to bring out all of your thoughts, and to learn. So eventually, if you're on the path, you're going to change all your beliefs to correspond with the Catholic Church. But it's okay if you're not at that point now. Like, there were so many things that, like, looking back, I'm shocked that I changed my mind on. Like, for example, being against contraception and birth control. I was like, that's crazy. I even thought that I would become Catholic, but just not agree on certain things and lie. But I didn't. I ended up doing research and figuring out that I was wrong on everything. So that's my advice if you disagree with it. Because literally, like, I'm writing my book right now on my conversion, and there's one chapter called the YouTube video, and I talk about a video I made called What I Love and Hate About Catholicism. And when I made that video, I disagreed with like every Catholic dogma. Like, I didn't agree with things at all. But then from there, people started praying for me, and I started interacting with Catholics and listening and commenting back and forth, basically, and coming to agree with things. So Yeah, coming into it, of course, you're going to disagree with things. Why Catholicism and not Orthodoxy? So, because of the Pope, obviously. That's like the difference between Catholicism and Orthodoxy. It has to do with authority. So, I really like this book called Upon This Rock by Stephen Ray. Upon This Rock by Stephen Ray. It gives evidence for the Roman bishop being the Pope from the 1st century onward. And the Eastern churches always believed that Rome was the first among equals, and then left and made the patriarch the first among equals. So they always thought that Rome had supremacy and then ditched it. So it all has to do with authority, and that's why I stay Catholic, because I want to be united with the Pope. Even though for me, I almost became Orthodox. I was attending Divine Liturgy, Vespers, Orthodox Bible study for months and months and months. And then someone sent me a lecture by Stephen Ray talking about the papacy and authority in the church, and that's what made me choose Catholicism. Wow, what's your book called and when do you hope to release it? So I was signed with a publishing company for a long time, and I can't share what happened because I signed a non-disclosure agreement, but it took me a long time, and I have my rights back now. So I'm going through and editing the entire book myself, and then I'm going to send the first chapter or the whole book to different publishing companies and like pitch my idea, share my social media followings, and get a publishing company to get behind me and help me do final edits with it and everything. So I'm basically like, usually when you go into a book deal, you have like your first chapter and then you sign on and then you write the book. Once you're signed on to the company, you write the rest of it. So I'm writing all of it right now by myself, and then I'm going to sign on. And so then we will have like, it'll be a pretty fast process, I think, because like I am my harshest critic of myself. So, and I've been doing creative writing like my entire life. So, but I'm sure there'll be lots of changes to what I really love a lot, and it'll probably be really hard to have to like say goodbye to what I love and the way I made it. But obviously I want what's best for you guys, and you need other perspectives on writing. What are your favorite saints? So John Chrysostom from the 4th century is one of my favorite saints. He wrote the Orthodox and Byzantine Divine Liturgy. It's his liturgy. I also read a lot of commentaries by Chrysostom. He has commentaries on so many books of the Bible, and he's a saint that I pray to a lot. I've also seen his relic in Florida, a church in Orlando, a Byzantine church. And it was so crazy. I was like, so anytime I go to a new church, I like stay after and like walk around and look at all this stained glass and art. So I was walking around, and then I get to the narthex, which is the room in between the outside doors and the main sanctuary room. So I like see a relic of Chrysostom, and I'm talking to the priest after, and I'm like, is this Chrysostom? And he's like, yeah, the guy who made the liturgy we just did. And I was like, what? Like a bone from way back then, 5th century when he died? That's crazy. So I've met his relic before. I also really, really love Augustine. My boyfriend's patron saint is Augustine. So I pray to Augustine a lot to watch over my boyfriend. So we have a pretty close relationship. Also, his writings are amazing and helped me to become Catholic. I read a lot of his writings when I was in college. So I'm sure he was like praying for me then. Also, Irenaeus is my patron saint. I read some of his writings in college, and I think that's when he started praying for me. And I wouldn't be Catholic without him, because the Apostle John taught Polycarp, who taught Irenaeus, so 2 steps away from one of the 12 apostles of Jesus. And Irenaeus believed that Mary was the new Eve, so he's considered the father of Mariology. He also taught that the Roman bishop is the Pope. He believed in apostolic succession, real presence of the Eucharist, so many things in his writings that are like made me become Catholic, because it's coming from Jesus, John, Polycarp, Irenaeus. It's like so close, so you have to believe it. He also is one of the first people to say whether or not which gospels are real, because there were fake gospels floating around in the early church. Like people would write gospels and then claim they were written by apostles, and fake epistles too. And so Irenaeus was one of the first people to say which gospels are legit and who wrote them, because they're all anonymous. So really important person in church history. Lizzie, please keep the alt-right off here. Groypers is racist. Kurt, you're a moderator, so delete whoever's doing that. And you can put them in timeout as well, might be helpful. Okay. You see me rolling is a groyper. So there's someone who's a moderator who is racist. That's bad when the moderator is the person who needs to be moderated. Oh, you see me rolling. Okay, so I need to unmoderate. Remove, hide user, remove moderator. Okay, I removed the moderator status. So now moderators, you can go after and delete and time out him if you want to. That's so crazy because I put people in charge to get rid of bad comments. But then what if those people are the people who are messed up, who are supposed to be the moderators? That's crazy. Okay. The comment section is so chaotic. I don't know what is going on. What if Kurt is wrong about his assessment? I know, right? I don't know what's even real anymore. It's so relativistic. Could I be a moderator? What is a groyper? Let's just like Google this real quick and see what's going on with this groyper. A loose network of alt-right figures who are vocal supporters of white supremacist and America First podcaster Nick Fuentes. Internet trolls who are notable for their attempts to introduce far-right politics into mainstream American conservatism. Sometimes called the Groyper Army, loose group of white nationalists and far-right activists, internet trolls. Yeah, so it sounds like it's pretty racist. I don't want to time out. You see me rolling. Okay, thank you for a super chat. Lao Fui, thank you for intervening. Lizzie, you see me rolling an Alioth, you need to address them privately. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to the chat. I was answering questions. Could you pray for me to become Catholic, please? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll screenshot this and add you to my rosary book. Why the Latin Rite instead of the Eastern Rite or the Anglican or whatever? I attend Eastern Rite and Novus Ordo Mass, so I attend both rites. I'm actually going to make a video about Byzantine Catholicism coming up. So I love Byzantine Catholicism a lot. I'm going to make a video what I love and hate about Byzantine Rite. I don't like hate anything, but there are certain things that I don't like about it that feel like they're missing from the Mass when you usually go to Novus Ordo or Latin Mass. Pope Francis is amazing. Oh, that warms my heart. I wish more people said positive things about Pope Francis. People are so mean. He gets so much hate. He's like so bullied. Please pray for my son, Harrison, Spencer, and Kenneth. I will screenshot this and put you in my prayer book. Do you use an Advent wreath? I should get an Advent wreath. I didn't even think about that. When does Advent start? Doesn't it start in, let's see. Advent start. Sunday, November 29th is when Advent begins. So I have a lot of time to figure out. Oh my goodness, Sarah Reeves just liked one of my comments on Instagram. That's crazy. She's this huge Christian singer. Do you guys fangirl over over people who are really famous liking your comments. I like always screenshot when I see that they've liked one of my comments and then I keep it. So I don't know if you guys have heard of her. I'll put in the chat. Sarah Reeves. She has really, really good music. I love her new album, every single song from it. Sarah Reeves, listen to her music. It's on Spotify. Okay. I love Pope Francis too. I love him. JS, pray for me. I'm having a lot of doubts regarding Catholic doctrine. I'm Catholic, but I'm thinking of converting to Orthodoxy after reading their position on the Immaculate Conception, the papacy, filioque, etc. So I would talk to your priest. If you're scared of leaving Catholicism, talk to your priest who's gone to 7 years of seminary, studied philosophy and theology for years and years and years, expert in theology. Talk to them and ask for book recommendations. It seems like right now you're reading perspectives from Orthodox. You also have to read the Catholic perspective and compare the two and see what's true based upon that. So definitely start by talking to your priest. But I will definitely pray for you. Thank you for the donation. Frogtown Road. Quakers, cool, attractive, boring. What do you think? I actually like some of their positions. I remember in high school, we were learning about the different religions, being like, I would be a Quaker. So I think they're pretty cool. I like their nonviolence approach. TY19, thank you so much for the donation. The dancing pair is really, really sweet. Okay. Kaylin says Taylor Marshall liked one of my tweets once. What did it say? So one of my top subscribers' Google account, he like takes my videos sometimes of me talking about Taylor Marshall and then puts it on Twitter, and then Taylor Marshall retweets. And one time I literally, what did I call him? Schismatic. I literally was like, he comes across as schismatic, and then Taylor Marshall liked it. I was like, okay. Lady Gaga once liked one of my tweets. Kelsey Ballerini liked one of my tweets. Do you guys know her? She's a huge country singer. I was fangirling when Trent Horn replied to one of my tweets. Yeah, he replied to one of mine too. He also sent me his book. I sent it to my parents' house though, so I'm gonna get the book over Christmas. I'm so excited. It's like, it's talking about Catholic quotes that are assigned to people who didn't actually say it. I don't know if that makes sense. So a lot of quotes that are famous that they're like, this saint said it, but that's like the idea of the book. So I don't know how that's an entire book, but we'll see. I fangirled when you replied to my super chat. Father Goyo replied to one of my comments. That's the biggest celebrity. I've met him. I have his phone number too. We've texted. Did the saints really say that? Yeah. That's the book. False Sayings by Trent Horn. Wow, you guys are talking to the potentially racist person asking whether or not he is racist. So where is the book? Okay, I will be right back, you guys. I'm gonna get my charger and a book that's talking about racism to read to you guys. Okay, I'm back, you guys. My computer's about to die, so I was grabbing my charger. Anyways, so this is a really good book. It's called So You Want to Talk About Race. This is the book we're reading in my book club now. Let me plug in my computer real quick. I don't want it to die in the middle of the stream. I don't even know if it will save the stream to YouTube if it dies. Actually, you know what happens when because it's happened before where my phone or my computer has died in the middle of the live stream? And once you charge it, the live stream continues. So it just like goes black for a bit and then it comes back. Also, aren't my yoga pants really cute? Okay. So her definition of racism is I should make a video talking about this book. You guys should, everyone should just buy the book and read it. It's really good. I cried in the first chapter. It was really, really sad. She was talking about how being Black in America is like being in an emotionally abusive relationship with the world. And she was talking about how she gave this example. Imagine if you're like walking down the street and you get like punched in the arm like every day. You just get like hit and hit and hit. And she's like, some people, when it happens, they're like, that's like a small bruise. Racism doesn't exist. Like, that was a small incident. Why is that such a big deal? But she's like, you have scars all over your body from racism you endure in the US. And she talked about how sometimes she's like gave the example of there's someone who's walking down the road who like walks like this and they think it's their right. And she said one time it's as if you're walking and someone accidentally punches you. And even though they didn't intend to do something racist, it still hurts because of all the other times they've been hurt by things in the country. Racism is so real. One of my best friends just moved to Arkansas to go back to school. And he literally left a week in because people were making racist comments towards him. He's Black and his wife is white. And so they think because they're a biracial couple, it was so much worse. But there were people literally like yelling the N-word and saying all sorts of racist words, like tailing them and then yelling at them, just like crazy stuff still exists in the country if you go to the South. So it's just so ridiculous. And I think like what she talks about in this book a lot is sometimes she tries to bring up racism to her white friends and they kind of shut her down and make it seem like it's not a big deal what happens. So I think sometimes our Black friends might not even be honest with us about all the racism that they do endure. And that's why when we hear about it, we don't think it's that big of a deal. But anyways, so the definition of racism is in chapter 1, I believe. Let's see. Okay, maybe it's in chapter 2. There's honestly so much stuff annotated in this that it's difficult to even find what I need to find in the book. Okay, here we go. This is the definition of racism. Racism is any prejudice against someone because of their race when those views are reinforced by systems of power. So it's not just people are being mean or shouting racist insults, but it also is ingrained in systemic racisms that exist in the US. So it's power structures. It's not just things that are said. Is it bad that I enjoy Ariana Grande's music? So her new album is like horrible because it's only about sex. Like every single song there, I think there's one song that's not about sex, but it's pathetic. Like I listened through her album. I didn't even download it on my phone. It's horrible. I hate her new album. So for me, I'm really into lyrics. I'm a huge lyrics person. So if I hear the song and it doesn't have any emotional depth to it and it's just about sex, I don't want to listen to it. And her previous albums, like her Sweetener, has a lot of depth to it. Like there's so many great themes in the album. Her song The Light Is Coming with Nicki Minaj is like a political song. God is a Woman, feminism. Her songs Breathe In and Get Well Soon, Good Night and Go are about mental health. They're about different, other songs are about different aspects in a relationship. Get Well Soon is one of my absolute favorite songs. So anyways, her songs are about beauty in relationships, mental health, politics. Like she talks about different things in her songs that are meaningful and emotionally deep. And her new album is only about sex and it's horrible. I have all of her other albums. Like I've been following her since Honeymoon Avenue. So yeah, I was really disappointed. But I think it is bad if you're listening to songs that are only about casual sex and don't have meaning to them, I think that will subliminally affect you. So I don't listen to songs that are only about sex. I hate songs that are only about sex. I think they're so meaningless. Yes, Sweetener is so deep. Lizzie, do you want political comments on here or not? No, I do not want political comments. How much time do you devote to reading every day, and do you annotate your books? It depends on the days. Some days I'll spend several hours. Some days I will only do video editing and not read at all. I read so slow because I highlight and write around the book, underline, like everything. I have loads of annotations when I read. Hi, Lizzie. I love your videos. I love you too. How do you know what music, books, and movies that you should consume? So anything that talks about casual sex is out. Anything that's talking about drugs, hookup culture, abusing alcohol, anything like that, I think that if there's sexual jokes in things, I don't find that funny. I personally don't watch TV like at all. You should watch The Chosen. It's free to watch. There's an app. It's about Jesus. I don't really watch movies. Music I listen to, like I said, I don't listen to songs that are about hookups and stuff. So yeah, it's hard. I'm not the right person to talk to about this just because I choose to like completely block out media like that because it's so bad. So what is your system of annotation? I just write out how I feel. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just like if I love something, I'll write a heart next to it. If something is funny, I'll write haha. If something is like crazy powerful, I'll draw a giant exclamation mark. And I'll write how I feel next to certain things. And I have all different colors. So like this book, for example, I'm only using yellow and orange highlighter and black pen. When I read Saint Teresa de Lisieux' Story of a Soul, I only use pink highlighter and pink pen. And then other books, I'll use like green and pink. So I pick different color schemes for each book just randomly. I mix it up. And yeah, I don't know if that was helpful at all. Vince is here. Hi. It's been a while. How are you doing? I do the same when I read. I'm still reading the complete works of St. Elizabeth of the Holy Trinity, Volume 1. Wow. Trevor decided he's going to read the entire Summa. He ordered it. Isn't that crazy? It's so cool when he's done with his classes this semester. Lizzie, I've recently been going to Christian churches Bible studies because all the Catholic churches in my area are not having any. But once they found out I was Catholic, they've shut me out. What? They won't even let you attend? You'd think they would want to convert you into Protestantism and have you stay to try and manipulate you or something. That's crazy. Olivia says, do you have a way for us to do a consolation with you? What do you mean by that? Do you want to do like, yeah, I don't know what consultation. Yeah, give me more depths of what that means, but you can email me if it's like a business request and you want to do like a paid consultation thing about social media or something. I've done that before where I've been paid hourly to give advice on stuff like that. And then a lot of times though, if someone really just wants to talk to me who's going through something, I will just Zoom with people for free, but I also do paid things, so. Pray the rosary, off to bed. I had Satan attack me last night, but I prayed the Hail Mary in my dream. Saying Jesus' name repels Satan. He came in the form of a snake. Wow, that's crazy. Nora says, Lizzie, can you pray for me? I broke up with a guy who is Adventist and I'm Catholic, and even though I know it was wise, it sometimes hurt. But I have faith in God. It's for the best. That's super sad. I will screenshot this into my prayer folder on my computer. Do you have tips on being motivated for school with mental health issues? So I have a video on how I study, which technically the video is called How to Pull an All-Nighter. But in the video, I talk about all my advice for how to stay focused and how to study well. How to pull an all-nighter. Oh, of course, there's so many videos on how to pull all-nighters. I don't know why I thought mine would come up. Okay, Lizzie. How to pull an all-nighter, Lizzie. Here we go. 67,000 views. So I think this has helped a lot of people pull all-nighters and focus and study. So I'm going to put this link, How to Study. In it, you guys might want to watch it if you're in school. Actually, anyone who's in school, you should probably watch that video. It has really good advice on how to stay focused and study. One of the things that I talk about in the video is how if I'm working on something that's like I don't want to be working on, I move every 20 minutes. So like I'll be sitting on my bed and then I'll go sit in the living room and then I'll go sit at the kitchen table and I like move around, or like I'll go work at a coffee shop, then go to another restaurant, then sit outside, then lay in the sun. Like I move around every 20 minutes. And then every hour I take a 10-minute break and I like play my guitar, I paint my nails, I watch a YouTube video. So that's kind of what I talk about in the How to Pull an All-Nighter video. But since graduating college and doing YouTube for work and reading and stuff, I actually love doing it. And I don't really have to do the whole like moving around. I can just sit in one spot all day and work because I love what I'm doing, which is a huge blessing that I get to do this for work. Could you sing a little for us? I have before in videos. Right now my nails are too long to play my guitar, unfortunately. This is my favorite shade of blue, by the way. I think it's the bridesmaid's dress color I want on my wedding. Although my best friend thinks that I should do like alternating colors. So like one should be blue, one should be purple, one should be pink, like that. Lizzie, have you thought about leading a live Bible study on your channel? So I have done it before, but I didn't like how it went because I was asking focus questions and people were not listening to the questions and responding. So I wanted it to be like, what was your reaction to this passage? Or why was this person killed by God? And then everyone to answer, and then I could read the answers, and people didn't do it. It was weird. People were just like in the chat talking about different things and like not even paying attention to the Bible study. So I tried to do it and it didn't work. You see me rolling. Can you guys see me? Yes, you're not shadow banned, shadow blocked, shadow banned, whichever. Maybe do a Zoom Bible study rather than live stream. Yes, I did Zoom Bible studies over the summer and it went really, really well. I have been reading Eusebius of Carthage's History of the Church and Thomas Paine's Rights of Man. That sounds really fun. What is a good veggie taco? So, have I made a taco YouTube video? Yes, I have. I have a video on vegan tacos on my channel. Let's see if it comes up. Lizzie's Answers. There's so many Lizzies who make vegan tacos. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to find the video. It's where I get my nose pierced in, and it's not coming up. So I must have not tagged the video like at all. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I think this is the video in which I talk about. vegan tacos in it. Here we go. If you watch through the end of the video, I talk about it in it. There you go. I did vlogging here. Yep, this is the vegan taco video. So unfortunately, I did a lot of vlogging there. My friend lives in like a very small town on the East Coast. And I wish I could do like outside vlogs, showing you around, going running, going to the store, eating, going to restaurants, like stuff like that. But I can't, because then people would know where I live and my neighborhood and where my friends live and where I visit and all of that. So I like can't vlog. Like I'm terrified to vlog outside of my apartment. And it makes it really difficult to like do vlogs. So I mean, since we are just staying home, it's like what I do, but like I do go out and do things like to parks and the beach and everything. So yeah, it sucks because I wish I could do vlogs and like show myself going what my church is like and like all of these things, and I can't because of safety concerns, which like I'm glad I'm self-aware that stuff like that will happen and like people will come after me, but it's really scary, some of the threats that I've gotten. So it's like I don't even like taking pictures in my neighborhood. So like my Instagram pictures are like not near where I live either. I thought You See Me Rolling was a mod. I undid the moderator because you said he was saying racist things. The taco starts with a baby. Yeah, if you watch the taco video, my best friend, she's actually having her second baby now. She's like a month out. So I'm definitely going to visit her once the world gets better and everyone gets the vaccine and everything. Books you would recommend for someone with no background in philosophy, interested in reading philosophy. Most intro to philosophy books start with antiquity and skip forward to the Enlightenment. Yeah. Why don't you, there's a book called The Spirit of Medieval Philosophy, which talks about the Middle Ages. So if you're interested in that, I cannot pronounce the author's name. Let me Google it real quick. The Spirit of Medieval Philosophy by... This book converted Thomas Merton into Catholicism. Here, I found it. That's a really good book. I have not read all of it. It's like each chapter is kind of like an essay, so you don't have to read it all the way through. So I've kind of like read around in it, but that talks about the Middle Ages if you're interested in the Middle Ages. And then there's another book that talks about the problems in modern philosophy that is called After Virtue. And it talks about why modern philosophy is a failure and why the Enlightenment is horrible. Wait, let me figure out his name. Here we go. He's so old. Wow. Okay. Oh, I meant to put by, and then I said, here we go. There we go. Have you ever been to the Holy Land? If yes, what places have been transformative for you? For me, it was Bethlehem. I stayed with a Palestinian family. That's so sweet. Yeah, I have been traveling. I have traveled to different places. I've been to Thailand, to Singapore, Mexico, Canada, Ireland, Russia when I was young. So those are the only places I've traveled. I haven't done a lot of tourism. When I lived in Thailand, I was doing missionary work the entire time, so I didn't even do tourism there. So I feel like when I travel places, it's always for ministry and we don't do tourism stuff. So when I ever do a pilgrimage and do for fun travel, I'll definitely vlog the experience. What does looking at a woman to lust mean? It means imagining having sex with her. It doesn't have to do with being turned on. People are turned on all the time when they see someone who's attractive. Even happens to me. So lusting has to do with where you follow those thoughts and then imagine like undressing her and having sex with her, or like imagine cheating on your spouse, or like how you would cheat on your spouse. So it has to do with like carrying the thoughts further is the problem. Have you been to Quebec? No. The moderators are really annoying. It's too much. You are bullying, you see me rolling? Which one is bullying? Because I can put that person in timeout. Alexandra, lighten up the mood. Give us some emojis. Rudolph Nemeth, can you explain your understanding of purgatory? So I was literally talking today to my boyfriend about my purgatory video and how it's one of my absolute favorite videos I've ever made. I put so much research into it. So I have an entire video talking about purgatory. So everyone can take a shot now because I said I made an entire video on something. If you're new here, we have an inside joke because usually during live streams when we talk about theology, I'm constantly like, I made an entire video talking about it. So this is literally a 45-minute video on purgatory. So it has everything in it that your heart will desire. So purgatory video. Here you go. Enjoy the next 45 minutes. I wonder how many people have watched it all the way through. Do you want to check? Here. I think YouTube will tell me in the algorithm how many people have actually watched the video. Let's see. Analytics. Overview. Engagement. Maybe it says an engagement. Concurrent viewers while premiered. Audience retention. Average viewer duration, 10 minutes. So of the 45-minute video, most people, average percentage viewed, 24%. So will it tell me anything else about audience retention? Yeah, it won't really tell me how many people watched it all the way through. Oh, no, it will. So 11% of people watched it all the way through. So if it has 8,000 views, that's like less than 1,000 people watched it all the way through. Well, people click off really fast. That's crazy. Yeah, so there's been like 900 people who watched the video all the way through, which is amazing. Like even if one person understands purgatory through the video, that's incredible. Vincent says, Lizzie, have you read The Law by Friedrich Bastiat from 1850? He is Catholic and is buried in a Catholic church in Rome. If not, you should read the book. Best book on philosophy. Okay, I will screenshot this and read the book. Friedrich Bastiat. Let's see it in Amazon. It's only $7 on Amazon, $6.49. Wow. Free delivery by Friday. That's really fast too. Maybe it's a popular book. Okay. Ryan says, about to get on Latuda for bipolar 2. What's your opinion on it? So I have been on Latuda? Honestly, so many different medications I've been on. So currently I'm on Reglar. I was on Latuda for, I think it was Latuda. My insurance wouldn't cover it basically. So I tried to do like a coupon code and that didn't work with my insurance either, but it was amazing while I was on it. So I love that medicine a lot. I'm pretty sure, unless it's another medicine with an L that I'm thinking of. Have I missed any other super comments, you guys? No, I think I have all of them. Cool. What is your favorite image of Jesus or Mary? My favorite image of Jesus, I will show you guys. This is my favorite image of Jesus. I love this icon. It's so, so beautiful. My favorite image of Mary is definitely Our Lady of Guadalupe. I have to get an Our Lady of Guadalupe image from my house. I mean, my apartment. Do you guys call your apartment house or home? I do that a lot. Okay, let's see what comments. I'm on Zoloft. What do you think of it? I have never been on Zoloft before, so I don't know. There's this one medication I went on, and I had trouble breathing on it. I had like shortness of breath when I took it. I was like, what the heck? Like, how is this even possible? Okay. I call my dorm room my house. Okay, cool. When I lived in an apartment, I called it my home. What are your Thanksgiving plans? I'm celebrating with my boyfriend and some of our friends. Lizzie, I would love to connect with you to talk about truth and the word. Well, message me on social media and I may get back to you. I'll send you my Twitter and Instagram handle. Are Catholics able to date non-Christians? Yes. Actually, so many conversions into Catholicism come through relationships. If someone is dating or married to someone who is Catholic, then they'll ask questions about the church and learn more about the church because they're in a relationship with someone who is Catholic. So absolutely, I think relationships are great with non-Catholics. How do you know that God is calling you to the priesthood? So this might be against Catholic teaching. This is just my personal opinion. I don't think God calls us to certain things. I think it's totally up to us to decide which career we want to go to, who to marry, what vocation we have. I think God will be with you and bless any decision that you make, it as like within reason, with different careers, with different paths for your life. I think it matters the intention of your heart and your humility and passion and love. And you can put that into having a family. You can put that into becoming a priest. You can put that into any career field, and you can live an amazing life for God and convert so many people who you know through your work or through your ministry or through your marriage and raising children in the church. So I think that any choice that you make is beautiful and God will work through that. I know a lot of Catholics, when talking about vocation, believe that God like clearly calls someone to the priesthood, and meet with a vocations director and they'll talk about that. But honestly, just pick whatever you're passionate about. That's my advice. My wife converted before we got married or engaged because of the program Alpha. I've done Alpha. We did that at my parish. It was really cool. I almost became a priest, but was nervous of talking in front of people. But I feel like I abandoned God almost by not becoming one. That's not true at all. God can work through every area of your life. It's not like that, where if you don't become a priest, you can't do ministry through your life. I was talking about at the beginning of the live stream. Someone was asking about good jobs for Catholics, and my answer was that you can worship God in any career field, and it's even more important for there to be Catholics in secular fields in order to convert people and befriend those people and help those people to find truth and become Catholics. Can Catholics be divorce lawyers? I would ask your priest that question. Divorce isn't a Catholic thing unless you're being physically abused in a relationship. Divorce doesn't exist in Catholicism. There's no reason for divorce. Even if your partner cheats on you, you're expected to try and work through it. That's how important marriage is, especially if you're raising children together. It's so important to stay together for the children. Lizzie, it's lagging. I can't do anything about it. I don't know why it's doing that. I did want to leave soon, though. We have been here for an hour and a half, so I'm going to go. It is almost 8 o'clock. So I have still not had dinner yet, so I'm going to make some food. I'm going to do some cleaning and then some reading, and then I'm going to go to sleep. So I love you guys a lot. This has been such a chill live stream. This is why I wanted to wait until after the election was over and everyone is calmed down, so there's not questions about the election constantly. So I appreciate everyone who was here. I'm sorry you see me rolling for being shadow banned. I guess you never got shadow banned. But I'm sorry for everyone teaming up on you and being mean. I hope you come back. One time we got in a debate about the SSPX, and someone who was like always in my live streams and was like a huge fan of my videos like never came back and like permanently left because of the comments of everyone in between each other. So yeah, you have to be nice in the comments or some people might permanently leave and never come back to the Lizzie's Answers channel. Okay, I love you guys a lot and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.